Welcome to the Product Business Podcast. This is your #1 podcast for the tips, actions, and insights to make more money from your products while enjoying your life. I'm your host, Amy Wenslow. Let's dive right in. Hey there, everyone. I know that I normally start this with how honored and excited I am to be with you and all of those things. And in our social media world, you know what? Sometimes that's just not the case. And right now, it's one of them. I really wasn't, quote, in the mood to do this, but I have a commitment. And so here we are. And I was thinking and reflecting on why does that happen and how do I move through it? Because I have some great tools for it. So we're just going to share. Really, on my list right now, just like with you as a business owner, there are sales calls to make, marketing messages that need to be written or approved. I have voiceover to do for a video that we're putting out that's new. Let's see, there's client packaging projects. Another client needs some support with how to work with her factory. Then another client has Home Depot paperwork that we'll be working with on Monday that I just saw arrive in my inbox. And the list goes on and on. However, what's true is that when you've committed to a certain vision for your life, like I have, of I want a multi-million-dollar business, that means that there's doingness that comes up. And the more you scale your business, the more doingness there seems to be sometimes, because the growth doesn't happen the same in every area of the business, right? Like you could have growth happening in your marketing and maybe the sales growth hasn't caught up yet. Or you've had sales and marketing growth, but the client service systems need to catch up. Or sometimes you have capacity in the client services and you need to find a way to utilize the capacity, right? So it's the same in a service business or a product business, that sometimes the growth isn't in sync. So what the frick do you do about it? Here's how to start thinking about it. I got this exercise from a very, 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 very successful business guy, multi-millionaire. And he gets to live one of those lives where he drives around in a really nice car and he does the parts of his business that he loves, but he has systems for the other, and he actually has several businesses. So this exercise came from him. So here's how you start. When you have a business that you're doing and it's growing and you're finding that you're doing a lot of things or your team needs to expand, either scenario, here's how you start to think about it. I've been doing this for years and it works magically. So I want you to grab a sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. Make 3 columns. Label the one on the left, hell, the one in the middle, work, and the one on the right, fun. Now, keep it next to your desk for a day or 2 or 3. And every time you are doing something in your business, I want you to write it down in one of the columns based on how you feel when you do it, right? If it's hell, it may be the thing that falls off your plate consistently, right? Ends up last on your list, last to get attention. Or maybe it doesn't even get onto your list, but you have this nagging guilt that it should be done or that it needs some attention or something like that. You can do this if you can presence all of those. Just sit down and just jot them down real fast. Doesn't have to take a long time, right? And then anything that you can do in your business, it doesn't light you up, but you'll do it and you're kind of neutral about it. All of those things get in the work column, right? They don't really excite you. They don't really energize you, but they need to get done and you'll do them and you're okay at it and all that. Those go in the work column. Okay, everybody? Now, everything that you love to do in your business that lights you up, that energizes you, that you could just do effortlessly because it's so fun, that goes in the fun column. Now, for me, the hell column has to do with things like administrative paperwork, data entry, like anything that's consistent and kind of boring and mundane. for me anyway, that goes in my hell column. My work column are things like reviewing emails, not really creative things, but kind of neutral. The fun things for me, running our product mastermind group, I love that group. It totally energizes me. It has me think of ways that we can expand and grow for our people that are in that group. It's a application only mastermind group that is just amazing, and they're killing it. They're spectacular. Anything having to do with that group that's not about scheduling, I love doing, right? If it's about scheduling stuff, then the admin team does that. The other things that I love are, I like writing marketing copy. I like creating a beautiful environment that is inspiring inside the business. I love the establishing creative direction for packaging, right? Like all of the pieces that are about creativity, love them. So what you want to do as a business owner is, after you write your list of what you are actually doing in a day and how you feel about each of them, put it in a column, right? You need to expand your team or delegate everything that is in the hell column first. Okay? The purpose of this is to give you an emotional lift of your experience inside your business. So you delegate everything in the hell column first, because those are the things that are probably the most drain on your energy. Now, you still have to be conversant with them because you are a business owner. You are a business leader, right? But you don't have to be the one doing them. So you delegate everything in the hell column first, then you delegate everything in the work column, and you keep the things that you wrote in the fun column for yourself, right? So you are left with the things that energize, enlighten, and enliven you. Now, once I heard this, because I'm a systems geek, took it a little step further and I said, oh, you know what? I recognize that the things in the fun column for me are things that I'm really brilliant at, right? I can own that. I am brilliant at those things. The things in the hell column, not my brilliance, right? But there are other people on this planet whose fun column matches something in my hell column, right? So when we're interviewing or bringing on a new team member, we're always looking for something that livens them up, that they love to do, that would almost be like, oh my gosh, you're going to pay me to do that? That's amazing. We want something in their fun column to match something in the team's hell columns, right? Because then they can own it and they'll be brilliant and they're going to be just a freaking rock star at it. And it's going to come with some grace and some ease for them, which brings it to the team. So always make sure that you're delegating your hell column first, then your work column. Keep the fun column, but hire people whose fun column matches something in your hell column or your team's hell column or work columns first, okay? And keep in the conversation, be accountable with it, be responsible and available to have conversations with them, but you really don't have to be the doer. And if you're trying to do the things that you're not brilliant at, it gets very expensive. Trust me. I made this mistake. It was bad. It cost us about an extra, air quotes again, extra $10,000 for me to try to do something that I was bad at. Okay. By all was said and done, it was an extra 10 grand, which really was not extra. And so you have to keep that in mind. Stay tuned for our next episode. I'm going to talk about another distinction around how you sort out the priorities and the tasks that really need to be moved forward most effectively. So stay tuned for the next episode, everyone. You have just listened to the Product Business Podcast with me, your host, Amy Wenslow. Subscribe, review, and share our podcast on Apple iTunes, Podcasts, or Google Play. Until next time.